The following trailer is a condensed overview of similarities in the pilot episode of Tribus, an academically submitted spec script I wrote for an original television show, and the first episode of Sky UK's historical drama Britannia. I'm now certain that Britannia was created using an unauthorised adaptation of my work, a view supported by my former tutors and a growing number of others. Further details explaining the connection between the two bodies of work and a breakdown of all the similarities, there are many more, can be found in the short series of documentaries linked to in the description below.
James, how did this first come about? How did the idea come?
It originally came about from an idea I had, and then spoke to Jez about it, and he went, "I know what to do here. Leave it to me," and he did.
Fabulous, absolutely.
The videos clearly demonstrate the opportunity for my work to have been adapted. The timelines fit like a glove. And the journalist at the heart of this case even predicted what channel my story would be shown on. Both shows start with a cold opening, featuring an eccentric middle-aged Celtic male in a scene with a bird that symbolises upcoming sorrow linked to the Roman invasion. In my show, we find out that he's on a journey to meet with the Emperor in Rome, just as later on in theirs.
I have to stop the Romans. I have to send them home. Then, to make sure it doesn't happen again, I have to go to Rome and kill the Emperor.
There's another scene in both openings where the faces of several prisoners flicker in and out the flames. One is forced to step forward in both to be interrogated by an inquisitive Roman general, based in part on the same man, Aulus Plautius. In both, the prisoner goes on a journey with the general, who wants to find out about Celtic religion and culture. After the titles, both with pop folk songs, their respective main narratives begin, with the young Celtic hero introduced on their own. In Tribus it's Cal, in Britannia, Kate. In both shows they then sprint off through fields towards their family. In both it's the eve of an important festival, and festival goers arrive at a village. The young Celt in both is due to go through a rite of passage that night.
Tonight, at the solstice, we will be girls no more.
And gets support from an elder female relative. Ella in my show, Isleen in theirs. Later on in both, the young hero is seen at the festival with a group of other teens standing in a field around a barrel. It's just before their rite of passage gets underway, which, in both shows, sees them get intoxicated. In both, they then wander around the festival site in their inebriated state and see a host of similar things, including a mysterious figure holding a staff who stops and stares at them. Both have an issue with their name at both festivals.
Tell us your name, sister. Who are you?
A recurring theme throughout the two shows, and the night ends badly for both young Cal and Kate. Neither makes it back to their tent. They do, however, make a new friend at the festival, who they go on to share a troubled relationship with. In Tribus, that character is described as stealing food and being cast out. In Britannia,
I'm the outcast. To be the outcast, you must be cast out of somewhere, and not just for stealing a chicken.
The next day, both young heroes follow their cast-out friend into a forest, where they get threatened by a seemingly perverted character. In both shows, they get saved by their new friend. And in both Tribus and Britannia, it's revealed at some point that the young character is the subject of a prophecy. Elsewhere, early on in both shows' first episodes, an antagonistic British character is introduced. Verica in Tribus, Veren in Britannia. In mine, a threat is referred to in front of him about the removal of somebody's eyes. And in theirs,
I will eat your eyes.
It's later established that there's an issue with the young hero's tribe, the Catafalauni or Cassian mine, the Canti in Britannia, and the Regini or Regni tribe, prior to a wedding taking place in both shows. I describe my wedding as being set on the borders in a certain part of the country, which is how and arguably where Britannia's is described as taking place as well. Both are set in or by a tree circle. Neither features the young hero or the eccentric male protagonist. Both weddings get ambushed by a group of riders who emerge from the forest. The groom gets slaughtered in both, and an untrusty Gaul slays the priestess in both. The bride survives unharmed in both, but gets captured by the Gaul and held as his temporary prisoner, again in both my show and theirs. There's also a corresponding scene where a Celtic prisoner is led in chains across a field towards a Roman prison wagon. He's described in mine as being chained up inside, naked down to his trousers. In mine, he calls out in concern about his missing family members. In theirs,
Are they safe? Where are they? Where are my daughters?
as the respective wagons roll off, they're both revealed to be surrounded by a cohort of Roman foot soldiers. Led by the character based on Plautius, a subordinate joins them up front, Vespian in mine, Vespasian in theirs. Vespian is described barking out orders to his troops in Tribus. This is Vespasian in Britannia.
Company! Move out!
And in both shows' first episodes, there's a character who wakes up being dragged through the woods. They've been gagged and have their hands and feet bound in rope.
Say goodbye to your canty balls.
In both, they're about to be sexually assaulted before surprisingly making their escape. And finally, at this stage at least, there's a scene in the two shows featuring a character who overhears a conversation held by a group of druids. They're sat around drinking a special herbal tea in both shows, and in both they talk about politics and power.
Should I fear Bamazi? Because perhaps Bamazi is more powerful than me?
My videos reveal a host of other similarities that appear throughout both shows' first seasons. But given that everything I've mentioned in this trailer happens in the two first episodes of both, regardless of cosmetic changes, I believe it's clear that I should be acknowledged as having created the original work that their show was based on. I already have, academically at least. Sky have ignored my cease and desist letter, demanding they stop broadcasting the infringing episodes of Britannia, including that all-important first episode. And I've started a petition, demanding they give me the credits I know I deserve. It's why I need your signature as I attempt to get justice and raise public support. So please, do sign and share it today. Cheers.